Hey everyone, the new Black Series wave is here from CMD Store in Canada. I've already reviewed the new Mandalorian on my channel already, so go check out that video if you have not already. Today we're going to look at the Pyke Soldier, the Tusken Chieftain, and the Cad Bane, which we've actually seen the Cad Bane before, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. In fact, I'm just going to do a straight comparison to the one that came in the 2-pack with Cobb Vanth. You can see that there is a little bit of a color difference in terms of the lightness of the clothing on the one on the right, and I did do a matte spray on the one on the right, so you're going to see a lot less shine there, but this is a good example of like a before and after of that. It almost looks like the one on the left has a bit of a dark wash on the face. It's hard to tell, especially with the matte finish on the one on the right, and we can see a slight difference in the expression, but it's very subtle. Obviously there's more of a snarl in the 2-pack. And then actually on the chest plate here, you can see that the new figure that came in the main line is unpainted on the chest. So that's sure to be a disappointment to those who are waiting for the single release instead of getting the 2-pack. Although with how deeply discounted that 2-pack ended up at Target, I feel like if you were looking for this figure, you probably have it already. I'm really curious on how this single release is going to sell. I've been excited for the Tusken Chieftain since he first showed up in the book of Boba Fett. Let's take a look at how this figure stacks up to our expectations. I have to say, very first impressions, I'm a little disappointed. It has these old Tusken Raider legs that are just a little bit stiff and kind of wonky. I'm having trouble getting him to stand. He really wants to fall backwards, and just given that little traffic cone nature of the sculpted plastic here, so it's a little tricky to do some subtle modifications on the legs to get that balance right. I also am not crazy about the soft goods on this. I don't mind the soft goods on the original Tusken Raider as much, but something about this, it's just like, it's kind of like it's designed to flow outward instead of just kind of sitting straight next to him, and it just kind of breaks the silhouette of the character compared to what we saw in the show. They did sculpt a new necklace and little breather here. They are separate pieces, but they are actually like pegged in on the back here. You can see they kind of stick into the middle of the back there, so they don't really move around too much, which I guess is nice because those could be annoying, but because of that, they kind of tend to float up above his body. I also feel like the head sculpt doesn't necessarily capture the character. The eyes look a little bit too small and close together compared to how he actually looks in the show. And with how amazing all of the new 2023 figures are, getting a figure that's just on an older buck with a lot of just the issues that we saw around 2019 and before, it's just a little disappointing overall, I have to say. And just a quick height comparison here to Boba and Fennec. We still don't have our book of Boba Fett Boba from the Black Series, so this one we'll have to do for now. I'm gonna do a little bit of a fix here using some black tack. I swear by this stuff. I have a ton of it. I get it on Amazon. It's like 12 bucks for a pack and it'll last you years. I'm gonna just roll this into a little snake here and stick this under the thick part of his necklace. That way we can get that held down and it's not going to just keep floating up, because that was really bothering me. That's a lot better. And then I 3D printed this black melon, which is going to go in his right hand just to give him something to hold. So I'm going to add some customs here. This is the Rodian from the first episode on a Cal Kestis body. And then we've got my Boba on a Ghostbusters body with a head by Fett clone, kind of capturing how he looked in that first episode. Then we have the Tusken Child. This is a mashup of a lot of different bodies, that little like skirt pieces from Rey, and then the original Tusken head, and I did do some custom sculpting. Then using files from my Patreon, I resin printed this kit on top of a dark Rey body to make the Tusken Warrior, and I painted that myself. But it's nice to have the Tusken Chieftain at least in the line. But I do really hope that we see the Tusken Warrior in the Black Series, because I would love to see that on everyone's shelf. I actually wanted this figure as soon as I saw them pop up in the book of Boba Fett, the Pyke Soldier. This is kind of an army builder. He comes with two different weapons here, this rifle that I don't think we've seen before, and this pistol. I was a little disappointed that he doesn't come with any alternate faceplates to do like the orange or the white faces like we see in the show. I would have totally got a ton of these. I actually did order 3 of these that I will be doing some customizing on with some painting, but I wish it was as simple as switching out the faceplates. It's actually a nice amount of detail on the face here, as well as the back of the head has a wash to it. We've got some butterfly joints at the arms. They are a little restricted by the outfit, kind of like the Jabiim Obi-Wan. Past 90 at the elbow, and then the legs are also constricted by the clothing. We've got a horizontal hinge on the right and a vertical hinge on the left to help with some like rifle poses. It is a little bit tricky to get him aiming down the sights. I tried for a bit and it was a little wonky, just given the outfit here. It just kind of prevents his arm from getting up. But I do think the extra articulation at the elbow just allows for some nice poses like this, especially with the vertical wrist hinge. Comparing him to the Black Series Boba Fett, we can see that he's just a little bit shorter. Then comparing him to SH Figuarts with a custom head here and a custom cama, And on the right is a Pyke leader that I resin printed using files from CG Trader. And then once I got this figure, I just got in the mood to repaint my Cobb Vanth. So the head is actually repainted by Tim's Toys, but I did like a dark wash on the scarf, a gray wash on the body, totally repainted the pants and boots, and added that Boba Fett knee pad on the left leg. So I actually designed this Pyke speeder, and I 3D printed it a few months ago, and I've just been waiting to get the Pyke Soldier in. This is from the scene with Cobb Vanth where he goes, "Think it through." This was the first speeder I designed of this type, so it took a lot of trial and error to make sure that figures could fit in the cockpit there. We've got to get Cobb Vanth into place, and then I have this little moisture vape that I also designed and printed. And I did have to take the skirt piece off of the Pyke Soldier in order to get him to sit up nicely, but he does fit nicely behind the wheel, and so I'm very happy to see that. I am excited to get the rest of my Pyke Soldiers just to kind of flesh out this scene a little bit. All of these files are available to download on my Patreon if you have a 3D printer. Let me know in the comments below which figures from this wave that you will be picking up. Again, if you missed my review on the new Mandalorian, it's a great figure. I highly recommend checking that out. Please give this video a like if you have not already, and as always, thank you for watching. Here are some other videos from my channel that you might enjoy, and I'll see you all next time.